Hey, welcome to Mike's Diabetes Room. See how I itch my nose quickly? Ah! Now, I was going to have this whole video set about, my check-in or check-up or... I don't know how I got check-in, but we started check-in, we'll keep it. But my time with my diabetic nurse went actually very smooth. We didn't really change anything. My blood sugars are actually getting better. I'm not so high in the morning, which thank God, because when I'm high, I really feel sick. But, so what are we going to talk about? Well, I want a bit to talk to you about carbs. Now, I'm on a weight loss journey as it is now, and a lot of my journey has been, I think, just losing water. I don't know if I've actually, sorry, why am I itchy eyes? Started to lose, fat. But we gotta keep going until my next appointment, which is September 11th? No. Could be September 10th. But we'll go and we'll do it then. Now, carbs are sugars. There's no simple way of saying it. Any type of sugar you eat, whether it's fructose, glucose, sucrose, it's all sugar. And it all gets changed into glucose. Now, your body utilizes that for food. Now, if you've been a type 1 for many years, this is October 7th, it'll be 45 years. Ugh. I was 13 when I started diabetes, so. And I really don't think that the hospital at the time, well, maybe they did, we just got to do a thing. And now there's so much more resources. Even with this internet, you can count carbs, you can learn carbs. There's things you can look up carbs. You can look up what a Macintosh apple has. How many carbs does it have in it? That could be an interesting thought. But tight control. And I've mentioned in the last video that my carb count has decreased. I made decisions and I'm cutting back on my carbs so that I won't have as much insulin on board. Yay. But my blood sugars have been pretty good. So we're going to stick with it. Now, carbs could be as easy as reading a label on the side of a carton. Now, things you have to watch out for is, one, serving size. You know, people think what's printed on there is actually the amount that you're going to eat. Chances are you're not going to eat that much, or you're going to eat more. So you're going to have to do some simple math. If you don't have a phone, you want to get a calculator. Now, then there's fiber. Now, if an item you're going to eat has fiber, you subtract the grams of the fiber from the total amount of carbs. And you're eating less carbs? Hey! And then you also want to take a look at, what is it called? Alcohol, sugar or alcohol. And you want to take half what it says there, half those grams. And you add it up, and that's how much you're going to eat from that certain item. Now, most meals, we don't sit there and just eat one item. You know, we usually have some sort of fruit, some sort of vegetables. A little bit of clue when you're starting to take a look at how much carbs are in things is the darker the vegetable, the more carbs. You know, lighter leafy greens like lettuce and that has less carbs than, I don't know, carrot or eggplant. Now, I like to use a carb counting on my cell phone, and I change regularly. You know, just that you don't keep doing the exact same thing over and over again. And you want to make sure that you are eyeing the correct amount. So it's a good thing to have some sort of measure. So you need measuring cups, you need teaspoons, whatever, some sort of measure. You also would need a scale. Now, you don't need to go hog wild on the scale, because eventually you're going to start to know what 500 grams of rice looks like. Now, you know, once you get going and, oh yes, I do things so well, and you need to go back and try it again, just to make sure your amounts are correct. You don't want your amounts to be off, not when you're using it to base your insulin. Now, I think we will find that once you get things going, how much easier it'll be. Now, it's not going to be as easy as it was when you first got diagnosed. Ah, yes. I remember the days when I could go and eat and not have to worry about it. Now, as a kid, and, you know, we came home from the hospital, and my mom would, you know, make the dinner, and back then it was a different system, it was the exchange, but she would lay things out on the plate, and I was allowed a fruit. I had to have a fruit exchange. So I would have 4 ounces of grape juice. That was my evening wine. Ooh. And, you know, I drink the grape juice and take my insulin. At that time, it was a set dose. So, if you were sick, you had to keep eating. Or when you really didn't feel like eating, oh, you had to keep eating. If you went out I don't know, to the fair. Oh no, you can't have that. You have to take a lunch with you and carry it around the whole time. It just didn't, it wasn't the greatest system. And it continued like that into the exchange. The exchanges changed, and then it changed into counting carbs. And I can remember there was a doctor in Burnaby Hospital. He admitted me through emergency. I was in DKA, and he started telling me about, there's a certain amount of carbs in certain foods, and you can change if you want. If you're hungry and feeling more protein, you can. And he showed me the mathematics, and I sat there and said, oh, okay. I never used that. But shortly after that, the whole carb counting thing came in. And to this day, I don't always do so great on carb counting, but it's time for my review. So I have to go through and review certain things. So remember, get yourself a scale, get yourself a measuring cup, measuring spoons, or some sort of spoon that has that amount. And read labels. Get a calculator if you don't have a phone with a calculator on it. We tend to think, everyone now, oh well, I have a cell phone. And you will find that you will become an expert with it. And your blood sugars will come in better control. And if you start really watching what you're eating, you can learn, oh my God, I did have that little extra. That's why my blood sugar's up. Or I didn't have all of dinner. That's why my blood sugars are down. It's easy. Anyway, I hope you've learned some and have a great day. I'll talk to you later.